Hey there, my name is Cherri B and I have over 300 hours of Astra, and here's how I play Ascent. But before we begin, I stream almost every day over on twitch.tv/cherri_b, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more from me. My goal for this year is to hit 1,000 followers, so all of this would be a great help. But anyway, let's get on to the video. So throughout this video, I'm going to do a bunch of demonstrations on attack and defender side, and I'm going to have a friend of mine show you exactly what it looks like from the enemy team's perspective. So let's start with how to defend A site. So typically, when I'm placing stars in the beginning of the round, I'll place 2 smoke stars, one on A and then one on B. I also like to put a star mid at least, but since we're only going to do simple defending, I'll just show how you do A site. So let's just say the round has started, and I hear walking here. So what I'm going to do is I will smoke this off. And now what I typically do is I like to shake things up. So I like to be unpredictable. But usually in the first starting rounds, I'll place a suck star here. I know a lot of Astras place suck stars in front of their smokes, and I do that. But I always like to be unpredictable, so it, keeps the game fresh. A lot of people, when they plant the spike, they like to plant around here. So something I like to do in early rounds is deny them planting the spike. So if they're trying to plant it here, suck it, and they won't be able to plant it. I'll show a demonstration of what that looks like. Another way I like to defend A site is by having the typical this and then a suck star right in front of it. So that if they haven't been ready for it, I'll get a few kills that way. Another cheeky, very cheeky way I like to defend A, and this only works about one time before they start worrying about this, is placing a star up top and placing one down below. And the minute the walls go down, you throw the smoke, wait, and if they're here, then you suck. And they're not, sometimes you can get a bunch of kills this way, and they're not usually ready for it. And as you can see, when it smokes up here, it's a pretty good smoke. And you could tell, since on this side, it's when it comes up this way. What I really meant to say here was that I smoke on this side because I know no one is hiding in it. While on the other side, someone can easily jump up, or a jet can dash her way up and she'll be able to hide in the smoke, or someone will be able to jump down in front of the suck star and ruin the whole plan for you. So that is why I typically smoke on the other side of it. So I'll demonstrate it again. You put a star here, one right here. The minute the walls go down, pop it immediately, and if they're here, get a suck star. The only downside to this is if they're not here, you kind of waste the star immediately. But if they are here, you can get at least 2 to 3 kills with that. But remember, if you're going to use this, make sure to use it at least once or twice during a match, because after you do it once, they're going to start suspecting it. So let's talk about Astra's ult with defending with A. It's actually pretty self-explanatory. It's the same thing I would do as a smoke if I hear walking. Wall it immediately.
My ult's ready.
Sometimes if you want to save, or depending on if they rush, if I know they're a very rushy team, I won't usually use it immediately. Something I also like to do is if, let's just say they're planted on site, you can wall off site. And they can come from heaven. A lot of people like to protect spike from here. So if you wall off heaven, you have a good chance of defusing the spike from here. Let's say you're trying to retake A. This is how I would typically do it. It's kind of like how you're attacking or defending. So if I know that people like to stand back here, I'll put a smoke star there. Sorry. If I know someone likes to stand around here, I'll have a concuss here. And I usually like to put a concuss down in hell. Right there. So if there's a door down, concuss, and then get through the door. However, I will say, if you're concussing from in hell...
Right there.
Oh. If you're concussing from hell, I would be mindful if you have a teammate up top, because the concuss star does go through. You don't want to accidentally kill them this way, because I have found this out the hard way. I'm sorry, my teammates. So now let's talk about how I defend B. The typical smoke for me is usually just one right there. I hear walking, pop it. And sometimes I'll have a suck star in front of it, so if I'm waiting here, I pop the smoke, and I hear footsteps. I typically wait till I hear footsteps around here, like on site, and then I suck, so that I can get the few stragglers from behind. It does usually get people on site, but this is already a hard corridor for me to hold as it is, so that's just usually how I handle it. Another way I like to defend B is if I know they also push mid when they push B, is I'll put a smoke star here. So I hear them walking, smoke it. And then I'll keep an eye on mid. And I'll smoke this. It's not a two-way, but it can be able to stop a bunch of pushes up this way. Plus, a lot of people like to opt from here, and this stops you from being able to opt from this way. See, as you can see, it's not entirely a two-way, but it can help stop a mid push. There you are. Using Astra's ult on B is typically the same way as I used it on A. I hear her walking, and I typically just wall it off as I would a regular smoke. But unlike on A, where you can wall off the spike, you can also do it on B. However, a lot of people, when they usually plant on B, they usually stick behind here. So I've never been successfully able to wall off spike on this side, unless if they plant here. If you know that they have planted there, you could pop a wall right here, and it's all about safely getting onto site. What I like to do is if I know that they're on site, I'll recall this, walk through, and if the spike is right here, I can safely defuse it, and they can't shoot me through this. If they have lineups can still get through there, but they can't shoot here, and they can also shoot through this box, so be wary of that. Spike planted.
You are divided!
These are typically default ways I defend A and B, but every match is different. Sometimes I'll have a Sova or someone with an Odin, and they are ulting, and I know that they're gonna ult or use an Odin through this wall, and I'll suck this for them, and they'll be able to get them that way. Or let's say I know people peek through here. So instead of smoking right here, and I know I have a teammate to peek this, I'll smoke. That's a bad star. Hold on. I'll smoke here instead.
Obscuring vision.
Or if I have someone who likes to hide in smokes or wants to shorty, I'll smoke here. It really depends on the match and depends on the players. But being flexible with Astra's abilities and being unpredictable is what I like to do most and my favorite thing to do. Just like on B, you can wall off the spike if they plant the spike here or here. And even here. Again, just like last time, just wall it off. It is up to you to figure out how to get to it. You press 4, and you're pretty much clear. I wouldn't recommend it, though, for this specifically, because they can shoot through this box. And then they've clapped, yeah. However, if you have teammates watching this angle, it's a pretty good way to defuse. Same with over here. Wall it off. It's a little wider than it should be, but you get the gist. This one is a little better, but if they do have lineups, lineups can go through here.
Planted. You are divided.
The only problem with walling off spikes, and it's only really worked once or twice for me, I will say, is it's up to you to figure out how to get there. So let's just say you wall it off, and you're all the way back here. It is up to you to figure out how to actually get to that walled off area. Because you can wall it off, and it can be a good wall off, but if they're watching it, they can easily kill you. Something I'm trying to practice and work on is being able to recall smokes all the way to the spike to be able to defuse it. It doesn't always work. Just know it takes a lot of practice to get there in time. But if you want to be fancy with it, walling off the spike can work. Alright, now let's talk about attacking on A. Typically, what usually I would do is I would have a smoke star here and a smoke star here. A lot of people smoke off heaven this way. However, I'll show you why this one is better. Not a little better, it is better. If you smoke it off here, you can see that there's a bunch of edges where they can jump down and easily get under heaven. But if you smoke off this, they can't really jump, and you can definitely see if they are there. So smoke off door, so if anyone's watching tree, and you can be able to... It's broken. Sorry. You can be able to safely get the door. And I typically like to plant here. Alright, when it comes to post-plant, I always put a suck star. This is my cheeky way to win the games. I basically can stand a little bit back. I can watch flank, or from right here. And if I hear them on the spike, I simply wait a few seconds to see if they're walking around, because some people do fake. And then I pull them off, peek, and I get them. Here's a demonstration of how that works. Another way to attack is you can place smokes here and here, but you can also use another star if you want. If someone likes to stand behind this box or this box, and you are consciously aware that they like to do it, you can place a concuss there. So you can do usually smoke, and when your team is ready, concuss right here, be able to push up. The concuss star also works from up there, and again there. It can also, again, go to hell. When it comes to using my ult to push us onto A, I usually like to do in either one of the two spots that I smoke. So either off of tree, or from here. It smokes off both hell and heaven. I prefer this one, because this one would, honestly, it does work. However, as you can tell, this is actually a big problem. So if you know the team, if the team likes to push up, do not use this wall, or else your team is just gonna get clapped right from over here. I typically push on the site with this wall, and then have just a smoke star here. So I smoke. While this, and then plant. Oh, and then plant. This is a scuffed video. Sorry. And the suck star also works from here. And you simply wait. You hear footsteps. Pull them. And get a few. If you want to attack through mid to A, here's the smoke stars I would use. I would smoke here, and here on tree. This makes it so if they're opping, they can't really get you. They'd have to walk up. So it makes it pretty safe to walk up. And this smokes off window up top of heaven, and for people who like to stay in a little bit of garden. It doesn't clear sight, but it helps you get onto it. Now, if you're going mid to B, here are the smoke stars that I would use. One right here, and one over here. So if someone is peeking or opping right here, you can be able to safely get past them. And since people like to go through here, smoke it off, and then you can clear just only 2 spots. Again, it doesn't clear sight, but at least gets you guys a little closer to it. There's a lot of different ways to do an attack on B, but here's what I typically do for smokes. I smoke here, and I smoke here. Here's what it looks like. It does not clear the Killjoy turret if there is one up there, so you will have to shoot it. But this is typically how I smoke onto B. Now, if multiple people that you know of watch B, especially Killjoys, Killjoys do like to sit right here. And there's also sometimes they like to sit here. Depending on where you think that the Killjoy is, you can smoke. And since they like to be the Killjoy, mollies, right here and here, before they detonate, you can concuss her, so you can safely get onto site, or you can even go up and get her from over here. If you know the Killjoy likes to sit here, you can smoke it, and concuss, either shoot through it or peek. this is not just for Killjoy. I've just mostly died to Killjoy, so I like to sit there, so that's where I typically do it. Planting on B works typically anywhere, because, again, we're just gonna have the suck star. I like to play it for here, and watch one angle. If I know I'm by myself, however, I will sit a little back in boat. And then I'll wait for someone to walk up,
Pulling them
and then I'll suck them, peek, and then it's an easy kill. If I'm planting here, I will not sit in boat, but it's just an example. I typically like to sit over here, and then wait a little bit, and then peek. So let's talk about ulting onto B. Unlike A, to where there's two options, one is a really bad option, but the other one does work just fine, there's one ult that I like to use on B without fail. And it is simply walling these two off. I have seen some Astras who do wall this. However, I'll show you why that doesn't really work or is not as good. As you can see, it gets the two areas that we're looking for. However, if someone is sitting here, or if they're sitting here, they can easily get onto site just as easy as you can. So the ult I like to do is wall from here to there.
Well divided.
It cuts out the two places where they usually like to sit, and it's pretty easy site to get onto. And again, just plant wherever,
Spike planted.
place your suck star, and then wait somewhere. And then the time is ready, your footsteps,
Pulling them in.
suck them off, and that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, this is my guide to Astra. Whatever you pick and choose to use is up to you, but I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see more guides like this from me, let me know in the comments. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!